Do you ever feel like there's 100 different options of ways that you could spend your money as a homeschooler and you don't know where you should put your time and your investment in? Well, today I'm going to share 6 things that I do not purchase in my homeschool as a mom of 6 in hopes of encouraging you and giving you ideas of how you can make your homeschool better fit your specific situation. So let's get started. The first thing that we don't buy is magic markers and glitter. While I do love to equip my kids with art supplies that will help encourage their creativity and help them to grow in their skills, there are some supplies that we have just deemed completely unproductive, especially in the younger years. And glitter and markers make that list. Now, I will clarify for my teenage son who is very into art, he obviously has his own markers and specialty supplies, but still no glitter in this home. But with my younger ones, I have found that every year I go and buy them and they quickly get dried out, or they end up decorating their sibling self or themselves or my wall or some other surface with markers. And they're just more of a headache than they seem to be worth. So we tend to spend our money and time on investing in things like color pencils or crayons or other ways that they can kind of get out their artistic personality without making huge colossal messes. Next up is expensive field trips. So these are the field trips. I'm not talking super extravagant things like taking a trip to New York to see the Statue of Liberty. I am talking about those typical field trips that you want to think of, like museums, the zoo, the aquarium, those types of things. Here is why I don't usually spend money on them. Because they oftentimes are overcrowded and slightly overhyped, although not always. And oftentimes those things are only good for a one-time go through. But that doesn't mean we don't actually go to those places. We just find cheaper ways to do it. We love to use Groupon to find coupons for our area to visit these places at affordable prices. We enjoy using, if you're in Kansas during the summer months, you can use the Sunflower Summer app, which will get you and all of your children into tons of museums and locations and aquariums and zoos completely free during the summer. Definitely be sure to check it out. I'll leave a link down in the description below. But these are ways that we can enjoy these more expensive field trips and not have to pay the money for them. And you would be surprised how many free field trips there are out there. Some of our favorites are going and visiting local businesses and learning from entrepreneurs who are really passionate about what they do, or going to small towns in our state and being able to explore a lot of the free things that they have to offer. Number 3 would be pre-packaged snacks for our homeschool. Now, there have been seasons where we definitely have spent our money there. It was worth the time and the effort that I did not have to put into making these snacks myself. But due to the budget restrictions that many of us are facing as food costs rise, and due to health concerns and needing to kind of tailor our snacks and our food to fit my daughter's diet restrictions for her medical needs, we have gone to pre-making snacks instead of pre-packaged snacks. Let me explain. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen that every Saturday I spend some time preparing snacks for the next week by placing them in small jars. I have a couple of different sizes of jars, but I will go ahead and do things like wash the fruit and prep it in a small jar. It's just 1 serving container. Or putting yogurt in a container so they can easily just throw on their favorite fruit or granola and have a yogurt parfait to go. By doing these simple steps, putting baby carrots in little snack size Ziploc bags and putting them in the bottom of our fridge, it makes it where my kids are eating healthier, where it's cheaper on our budget, and where they can easily grab and go during our homeschool day. Because the more time it takes to prepare the food, the more time it takes us away from our homeschool, and it's hard to get the kids back on track. Not to mention when we're going to field trips and co-ops, things are already prepped, they can just grab and we can go. The 4th thing we don't spend our money on is a lot of extracurricular activities. Due to the medical needs in our family, some of the different situations that we have in our home, we're not able to do a lot of sports or clubs or other expensive adventures like that. Instead, though, we have found a lot of free resources. We love to use Hoffman Academy for free piano lessons online, YouTube art videos like Art Hub for Kids to teach our kids about how to do different art skills that they want to develop. They play lots of sports with friends in the neighborhood, and they enjoy being able to just utilize YouTube to be able to learn about whatever interests them. I have a son who is interested in leatherworking, so he looked up videos and has learned a lot about that. Doesn't mean that it's wrong to spend money on extracurriculars, but for us, that was not a good fit in this season. And so instead, we choose to use free resources to learn about the things and not have to feel like we're holding them back from the opportunities that they might be interested in. Number 5 is formal unit studies. With unit studies, I think at heart, a unit studies mom. But again, life circumstances have dictated that I don't ever get around to finishing unit studies. Different things come up and it makes it really challenging. So I have tried for many years to buy different unit studies from different curriculum companies, trying a wide variation, and have yet to actually stick to any of them and finish them from beginning to end. Because of this, I prefer to just follow little rabbit trails that come up in our homeschool. I prefer that instead of planning in advance that we're going to do a unit study on something, reading our Apologia Science and having them become really extra interested in learning about the difference between alligators and crocodiles, and just taking a little extra time to check out some books from the library, watch some YouTube videos on that topic, instead of kind of going into this whole formal launch thing. That doesn't mean that formal curriculums for unit studies are bad whatsoever. It just means that they're not right for me and my season. And the 6th thing that we don't purchase is classroom decor. I love to make my school area look pretty, and when I first started homeschooling, it looked just like a classroom. I had all the fun posters from the Dollar Tree all over my school area, and I wanted it to be bright and colorful and engaging and exciting. But what I learned was that for my kids, it was actually a huge visual distraction. It was really frustrating to them because they were constantly being distracted by the things on the walls instead of what was right in front of them. Because many of my kids have ADHD and struggle with distractions, this is something that I had to eliminate from my homeschool budget and stop spending money on. If you want to learn more about tips to help your ADHD learners or your highly distracted learners, check out this video here.